Hey Dolphins fans, it's Austin Ramos here, and the Dolphins just beat the New York Jets 6-13 at home in a highly defensive matchup.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
So let's go over some stats for the New York Jets before we go over anything of the Dolphins. Quarterback Sam Darnold went 21 for 39 for 229 yards, and he had 4 interceptions. 4 guys, 4. And he was also sacked 4 times. Their leading rusher was Isaiah Crowell. He had 13 carries for 49 yards. So Miami stepped it up today in the run stopping. His longest was 12 yards. I mean, he didn't get much going there on the ground, and it was very good for our defense today. Their next leading rusher was McGuire, and he had 7 carries for 30 yards. His longest was 14. So overall, Miami did not allow a big run to kill them, or they also just stopped the run very well early on and throughout the entire game. The Jets' leading receivers was Chris Herndon, which I believe is a tight end that came out of the University of Miami, and he had 4 receptions for 62 yards, and his long was 28 yards, so he had a pretty long play. Next we have Quincy Enunwa. He had 3 receptions for 40 yards. And then we have McGuire again with 3 receptions for 37 yards. And not to mention Robbie Anderson, who had 4 receptions for 32 yards. So they distributed the ball pretty well. I mean, there's more guys who got receptions here, like Jermaine Curtis for 20 yards. But they spread the ball pretty well. But a lot of Sam Darnold's throws, like imagine their drive before halftime was just like the defense was sitting back and not like really playing defense. They were just trying not to give up a touchdown, pretty much. So that not really hurt the Dolphins, but it was just like a lot of those were just because of that. I mean, not to discredit the Jets or Sam Darnold or anyone involved with the Jets offense, but not much really like they did. Their offense was pretty neutralized, and so was the Dolphins. So it was a highly defensive game, like I tried to say and was hoping that it would be like, but yeah. Now the defensive stats for the Jets are not crazy. They didn't force any turnovers, but they did stop us when they needed to stop us. So, but they didn't stop us completely when we got 2 field goals on the deck, and if it wasn't for the pick 6 that Tron Baker got, I mean, we wouldn't have taken the lead or anything. Just nothing really too crazy would have happened. The tackle leader was Williamson. I believe he's a guy who's on the line, like on the defensive line, and he had 1 sack. He had 7 total solo tackles, and then Jenkins, he had 2 sacks. Wow, didn't know that. And I don't know how to say this guy's name, but Atachu, he had a sack as well. And then Jamal Adams was the next leading tackler with 5 tackles solo. He had like 7 combined. I mean, and he had a tip pass that like could have been a first down for the Dolphins, but end of the day, it doesn't matter. Dolphins got the win, so it was at the end of the day, it was a good play that happened. Now let's go over some of the Dolphins stats. Brock Osweiler went 15 for 24 for 139 yards, which wasn't very good. But luckily he did not throw an interception. Unfortunately, he did not have a touchdown. But he was sacked 4 times by those guys I listed earlier. Miami's leading rusher was Frank Gore with 20 carries. Yes, 20. And then you'll see crazy like when you see the next one. But he had 20 carries for 53 yards. He wasn't getting a lot of yards, like no big chunk plays, but he was getting good runs, like 4, 5, 6 yards almost. His longest was like 8. The next one was Kenyon Drake. He had 3 carries, so 20 carries and 3 carries. So you can tell Miami's really shifting towards Frank Gore as being their lead back and just really trying to pretty much propelling the run game to be pretty well. But I also like the thought of Kenyon Drake being out there and being young and being speed, and I mean, he can break big plays more often than Frank Gore can. But Frank Gore is obviously gonna get you the first down. He's gonna get you those good quality runs almost every single time he gets the ball. So it's really hard to say who you want on the field. But obviously, if you're going on a passing down, you want Kenyon Drake in there. Anyways, he had 9 yards on the ground. So, I mean, didn't really do much there. Leading receiver was Danny Amendola. He had 5 receptions for 47 yards. Next, we have Kenyon Drake, who had 4 receptions for 26 yards. Then we have Kenny Stills, who wasn't really on the field that much this game, but he had 1 reception for 19 yards, and it was a pretty good catch. I believe it led us to one of our field goal opportunities, and he caught it like on the 3rd down, so it was really good, and he turned it upfield for some more yardage. Next, we got Kalen Ballage. He only had 2 receptions for 17 yards, but he had a pretty nice catch, and I'm really happy with the Dolphins involving him more in the offense. I feel like he's a very good weapon that could be utilized, and with a lot of injuries that have been happening to the team, just receiving wise, he'll be a good addition to just have him come out of the backfield, make some plays, just like any other young talent that we have on the roster could be. Now, defensively, the Dolphins definitely won the game over because they had 4 interceptions and 4 sacks. I don't want to say it's the greatest game ever, but I also want to give credit where credit is due, because any week is tough in the NFL. And coming off a loss like the Dolphins just did the week before, they needed to get a win, and so did the Jets. And honestly, the Dolphins just wanted it more. And they got after the quarterback. They got the ball. Need to interception to Kiko Alonso, right in Kiko's gut. The next interception was the one to Jerome Baker, who jumped the pass and took it to the house for 6. That was very good. That's what put Miami on top, and that's what really just won us the game, to be honest. Jerome Baker won us the game. Next, we had the interception by TJ McDonald, which, felt like it was underthrown ball by Sam Darnold, and TJ McDonald just had to really just barely jump up to catch it, intercept it. There was like on their, I don't remember if it was their 4th down or not, but it was really when they were trying to get back in the game, and it was like right before the 2 minutes. Right before the 2 minutes, and TJ McDonald intercepted it really easily. And then the last one was just like their 4th down after they got the ball back. And then the last one was by Walt Aikens, and he got that pretty much on one of the last plays of the game. Miami just had to take a knee after that play. But the Jets were on their 4th down, and they were just like, we got to do something. Obviously, they were throwing the ball. It was a 4th and long. And Walt Aikens was behind, and he overthrew it, and he just in his belly. I mean, Sam Darnold was just giving us gifts today, guys. Honestly. The offense didn't play well. Honestly. But let's shed some light on what happened in the game. Rashad Jones walked off, or just pulled himself out of the game. I have no idea why. I really thought it was weird when I saw Mink out there with TJ McDonald as safety. I'm like, why is he not in the nickel? Why is he not at least on the outside or something? Why is he up top? I didn't have a problem with it. I just thought it was really weird. It's after the trade deadline. So if we're going to get rid of Rashad Jones, the only way we do it is if we release him, cut him. You're not getting anything out of it. So just hold on to the guy. If that's the case, if he doesn't want to be in Miami anymore, if something happened, he's upset, don't know. But he pretty much did not touch the field after halftime on his own will. I don't understand why. This is really weird because he's a Pro Bowl caliber player. He's been to the Pro Bowl a bunch of times. He's a very good player for the Dolphins, and to just do that against a divisional rival, something has to be going on there that we don't know yet, and we're probably not going to really know the truth because they're just going to try to keep everything, closed door, not have a bunch of information get out, stuff like that. But that's about it. Dolphins got the win. They moved on. They're 5-4 now. The Jets are 3-6. The Bills are 2. So that's about it. The Dolphins are now 5-4. Behind them is the Jets, who are 3-6 now due to us, and the Bills are like 2-7. So like the Bills are really just not doing well. The Patriots have yet to play the Packers, and they're probably gonna go into a shootout. Probably, hopefully not. And the Dolphins are 5-4, and they're second place in the division currently. And it looks, if everything goes well, it looks like the Jets are not gonna be a problem. They're probably just gonna lose out and try to get a high pick. The Bills aren't gonna do anything, obviously. Like they're just done for already. And the Patriots, we're competing with the Patriots for the AFC East. Not only that, we're competing with a bunch of other teams for just AFC playoff standings. The Ravens lost today, which was very well for the Dolphins, because kind of evens out the playing field. I think that puts the Ravens at 4-5 now, so that's good. I don't remember what happened with the Chargers and the Seahawks yet, but I'll look that up after. But just a lot of like down the line, the Dolphins are gonna need to win games, obviously, and other teams are gonna have to lose. That's just how it goes, because we are in a hole. It's not necessarily a bad hole. I mean, the Dolphins had a good streak heading into that 2016 playoff berth, and if we can do that again, or just do something similar and just really get ourselves going, it could be really good for us. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also tweet out #salute to service. They're donating to non-profit organizations with the military and the army and all that stuff. $5 for every tweet and retweet that goes with the hashtag. So just, help out the troops to keep us safe. And that's about it. Also, follow me on my Twitter. I've been talking about the Dolphins there. I'll keep you guys informed. Same thing with my Instagram. Fins up, and let's get this win against the Packers next Sunday at Lambeau Field.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.